Hey everybody, welcome to Make Money Math Time, the place where we do math to make money. Today's episode we're seeing just how much money we can save by drinking at home versus going to bars. I consider myself a light to moderate drinker, but this was a fun episode for me to write because I learned a lot about cocktail recipes. As always, I've included a link to a spreadsheet in the description that has all the math for you. You just have to plug in your own numbers, the prices of those drinks at your local bars. Also, these cocktail recipes are pretty standard, so if you want to spice things up a little bit, feel free to dive into that spreadsheet and modify things a bit. So the prices of alcohol this episode, we're going to go with the website Drizly. Drizly is an alcohol delivery service that can give you any kind of alcohol from your local liquor stores. This episode is in no way sponsored by them, but it was a very convenient way for me to find standard pricing. If you're not sure where your local sales tax is, in the spreadsheet below there's a tab that has all that listed out for you. And if you're international, feel free to plug in your own. I should also notice that all the cocktail recipes I'm mentioning, all the ingredients, you can click on the links in the spreadsheet or in the description below. And before we get started, I think it's important to mention some hidden costs that we pay when we're at a bar because of the tipping culture in the drinking culture. It's standard to tip $1 for beer or wine. For Wells drinks, very basic cocktails, tip between $1 and $2. And for a more in-depth, complex cocktail, you're tipping $2 or more. That's usually a part of the price that's an afterthought, but when we look at these prices over time, it really adds up. And I should probably also say that you shouldn't be drinking alcohol if you're not of drinking age, if you're pregnant, have health concerns, or anything like that. So because everyone's preferences vary so much, we're going to divide this episode into many different sections, so feel free to jump to the timestamp that applies to you. We're going to have a beer section, we're going to have a wine section. Both of those, we're going to look at the price we're going to save in an entire year by drinking beer and wine at home versus going to a bar. And then we're going to divide things up into liquor. And for these, we're just going to look at how much we're going to save per cocktail because everyone's local prices vary so much and because cocktails are not really the go-to drink that you drink the same thing every week. We're just looking at savings per cocktail. So all that being said, let's do the math. So for beer, I'm going to go with Shiner Bock. You can go with anything you want. I live in Texas, so that's what I'm going to be drinking. I am going to spend $9.49 on this beer. That's before the tax. And that is, when I look on the website, that is pretty in step with the price of Shiner around town. $9.49 for a 6-pack of 12-ounce cans. After tax, we're looking at a total cost of $1.71 per 12-ounce can. Now at a bar, the price of a can of a Shiner, I'm going to say is about $4.50. If you're living in California or New York, you're probably laughing at me or want to move to where I live, but don't do that, please. $4.50 is the price that we're going to go with for a 12-ounce can. That means a tax of 37 cents, and you have to tip $1 on beer because that's what's customary. So you're looking at $5.87 for this can of Shiner. So that gives us a savings on the can of $4.16. But a lot of bars you're going to be drinking off tap. You're going to be drinking 16-ounce pints. So when we look at the equivalent of that, at a bar, that's going to run $5.50. Plus tax and tip, we're looking at $6.95 for a pint of Shiner. But the 16-ounce equivalent of what we've bought online is $2.28. So for every pint we drink at home, we're saving $4.67. So to calculate our annual savings, we have to dive into our habits a little bit. Now, I'm going to say that we're drinking 6 pints a week. That seems to be kind of on the low to moderate side for people who do drink regularly. So what I'm saying is we're going to happy hour once a week where we drink 2 pints, and then maybe on Saturday or Sunday, we're watching the football game with friends, or we're going out to drink on a Friday night. I'm going to say that we consume 4 pints over the weekend, so I'm going to say a total of 6 pints. Now we also have to calculate the price of going to the bar. In a previous episode, we saw that it cost about 20 cents to drive a single mile. That's a very important number. That's a very important episode. It basically impacts every time you leave the house in your car. If you want to figure out exactly how we got those numbers, definitely check out that episode. But we're going to say it costs 20 cents to drive a mile. We have to look at how many miles out of the way on average is going to the bar. People like variety when it comes to drinking. They like to go to different places. So we're just going to have to estimate a little bit. I'm going to say if we're going out of the way from work to home on a happy hour, maybe that's about 5 miles out of the way. Maybe we want to go downtown. We're driving there and driving back. I think for me about 5 miles is a good estimate. So 5 miles at 20 cents per mile. And I'm going to say that we're doing 2 weekly drinking trips. One for happy hour and then one on the weekend. So total, the annual cost of just traveling to the bar for me is going to be $104. So we remember that number. So 6 drinks total for the week, 6 times 52. We see how many in the year multiplied by our savings of $467 added to our cost of traveling to the bar. So we're looking at a total annual savings. If we drink at home, beer, versus going out to the bar, we're looking at a total annual savings of $1,500 $261. That is a very large number spent on beer. Through this episode, we're going to realize that opening a bar is probably one of the best business models you can come up with because the markups are so incredibly high. I mean, just a can of beer that you're buying from a brewery, you're not making or doing any of the work yourself. You buy for $1.71 and then you can sell it with a gain of $4.16. Obviously, there's overhead and everything like that, but that is an incredible markup when it compared to any other industry. So we look at this $1,500 number, and I don't want you to think that I'm trying to advocate for completely cutting out the bar entirely and just drinking at home. But what I am saying is that by making some smart decisions, by knowing that number and really trying to cut into it, maybe once a week, maybe once a month, we decide to have friends over and kind of have a small house party instead of going to the bar. But just small decisions that we can make throughout the year can really start to save some money. So that's pretty much the beer section. If you want to jump to the outro, feel free to do that now, but otherwise we're going to dive into wine. So when it comes to wine, this is a little bit difficult because the price of wine bottles varies so much, but I found one that is on the very cheap side, and we'll go with that just to see how much money we can save by drinking wine at home versus going out. So I'm seeing a bottle online for $16.64. Now, it's also important to note how many glasses per bottle we usually get out of wine. A lot of people say 4. When I looked into it, the actual average glass of wine should be 5 ounces of wine. So what that means is you're actually getting 5 glasses per bottle. So when you split a bottle of wine between 2 people, you're getting a little bit more than 2 glasses per person. So what this means is once we add tax to the price of the bottle, divide by 5 because we're doing 5 glasses, we're seeing a total cost of the glass of wine being $3.60. Now if we go to a bar or restaurant, let's say that the same glass of wine is going to cost us $9. We have tax to that, we have a dollar tip, and then after that we're looking at $10.74 for this glass of wine. So that gives us a total savings by drinking a glass of wine at home at $7.14 per glass of wine. But to find the number that we're saving annually, we also have to incorporate the cost of transportation to the bar or restaurant where we're getting our wine. Now, when it comes to drinking, variety is important. People like drinking at different places, so we're going to have to estimate here. And I'm saying that out of the way, on average, we're looking at 5 miles. So maybe we're doing a happy hour on the way from work to home. We drive out of the way 5 miles. Maybe the bar is 2.5 miles away. We're going to the bar and back. So I'm going to say on average, it's 5 miles away. Now, in a previous episode, we saw that the cost of driving 1 mile is very close to 20 cents. This is an important number. It's an important episode to watch. It really affects you every time you leave the house. But for now, we're going to plug in the number 20 cents for cost of traveling 1 mile. But how many weekly drinking trips are we making? I do think habits vary here between wine drinkers and beer drinkers. I do think more often than not, beer drinkers are going out to drink beer, whereas a lot of time people drinking wine are having wine with some dinner. They're not really going out of the way to a bar, though that's absolutely possible. I'm going to say that we're doing that once a week. I'm going to say maybe we go to happy hour once a week. And so I'm going to say if we have one drinking trip per week, 20 cents per mile, 5 miles away on average, we're looking at $52 for traveling on the year. If these numbers are different from you, definitely plug in your own numbers and see just how much you'll be saving. So I'm going to say on average, we're consuming 5 glasses of wine per week. Let's say 2 at a happy hour, and then throughout the week, 3 times at dinner. So 5 glasses a week, 52 weeks in a year, we're saving just over $7 per glass, plus the money that we're saving in travel. Then we're looking at a total of $1,908 saved by drinking wine at home versus going to a restaurant or bar. Now we look at that number and it seems high, but I think it's important to note that I'm not advocating to give up drinking out entirely. I'm not saying you should always be drinking at home. What I am saying, though, is when we learn this number, it empowers us, and we know that we can actually be saving a portion, at least a portion of this, by making smarter decisions throughout the week. So maybe instead of going to happy hour every week, we invite some friends over for a small gathering and save some money that way. You know, an added bonus of inviting people over to drink is that a good guest actually typically brings more alcohol than they drink. That's pretty much the section on wine. If you want to jump to the outro, feel free. Otherwise, stick around and we're going to dive into the price of cocktails. Okay, so let's start off the cocktail section with vodka. The 2 different cocktails that we'll be looking at are vodka sodas and Moscow mules. So when I go online, I see that the price of 700 milliliters or a fifth of vodka is $33.99. What this means is that after tax, a standard 1.5 ounce shot is going to be $2.18. If we're going to a bar, let's say the price is going to be $5. $1 tip, we're looking at a savings of $3.82. Okay, so vodka soda, 1 part vodka, 2 parts soda. So when we buy sparkling water on Amazon, we're looking at $17.98. We're buying it in bulk to save money, 405 ounces. That means the price per ounce is only going to be 5 cents. So when we put it together, a shot of vodka and 3 ounces of sparkling water is going to be a total of $2.32. If the price at a bar is $6 after tax, another dollar for tip is $7. That means we're saving $4.68 for every vodka soda we make at home. All right, Moscow Mule, a little bit more complex. We're looking at 4 ounces of ginger beer, a shot of vodka, and then 1/6 of an ounce of lime juice. For ginger beer, I'm seeing one for just under $30. The price per ounce puts that at 22 cents per ounce. Lime juice, I'm seeing just over $10, 64 ounces. That puts the price per ounce at 17 cents. If we want to have fun with it, we can absolutely buy the Moscow Mule copper mugs for $28. There's a set of 4. That's a price of $7.57 per mug. So when we add it all together, 4 ounces of ginger beer, 90 cents. A shot of vodka, $2.18. And 1/6 of an ounce of lime juice is 3 cents, totaling $3.10 for a Moscow Mule. What that means is if you're paying about $14 at the bar, let's say it's $12 after tax plus $2 a tip for a cocktail, what that means is you can actually buy a copper mug, a Moscow Mule copper mug, every time you make your own Moscow Mule at home. You can buy a mug every single time you do that, and you will still be saving money. You'll have a collection of 1,000 mugs, but you will be better off for it making it home versus going to the bar. Because for a Moscow Mule, that's going to be a savings of over $10 per drink. That's pretty much vodka. Feel free to jump to the outro or stick around for tequila. I live in Texas, and people here love their margaritas. Tequila is a very important liquor. So when I go online, I'm seeing a bottle of Jose Cuervo for $19.89. That means the price of a standard 1.5 ounce shot is $1.27. At a bar, after tax and tip, let's say it's $6, that means we're saving $4.73 every time we take a shot at home. Popular tequila cocktails, we're going to be looking at margaritas and palomas. Now everyone has their own recipe for margaritas. I'm going to say it's 2 ounces of tequila, 1 ounce lime juice, and 1 ounce of triple sec or cointreau. So when we look at the price of lime juice, I'm seeing 64 ounces for just over $10. After tax, that's 17 cents per ounce. And when I look at cointreau, I'm looking at just over $40 for a fifth. That means per ounce, we're looking at $1.74. So basic margarita, 2 ounces of tequila, 1 ounce of lime juice, 1 ounce of cointreau. All added together, that's going to make the price of a margarita $3.62. Now in Texas, margaritas are cheap. You can usually find them for $7 or $8. But I have noticed when I travel that margaritas are a lot more expensive, more standard with the other cocktails. But let's say that I can get a margarita after tax and tip for $8.50. That means the savings by making a margarita at home is going to be $4.88. Another popular cocktail with tequila is the Paloma. This one is very easy to make at home, so if you like those, you'll definitely save a lot of money here. Basic recipe for a Paloma, we're looking at 1 part tequila, 3 parts grapefruit soda. So price of grapefruit soda, I'm seeing $17.23 for 90 ounces after tax. That puts it at 22 cents per ounce. So a shot of tequila, $1.27, 4.5 ounces of grapefruit soda, $1.01. We're looking at the cost of Paloma being $2.28. At a bar, after tax and tip, maybe it's $9.50. That gives us a savings at home of $7.22. Again, I encourage you to plug in your own numbers if you know the prices for these cocktails at your local bar, so you'll see just how much money you can be saving if you're making these at home. That's pretty much it for the tequila. If you want to jump to the outro now, feel free. Otherwise, we're going to jump into whiskey. So whiskey is one of the most popular liquors out there. There's a lot of different categories, such as Scotch, bourbon, and everything like that. They are all whiskey. They're just made a little bit differently. So a good popular brand is Maker's Mark. When I look online, I'm seeing a fifth of a bottle for $29.89. This gives us a price of $1.91 for standard shot of 1.5 ounces. At a bar, if that runs us $6 after tax and tip, we're seeing a savings at home of over $4. Popular whiskey cocktails, we're going to be looking at the Whiskey Coke, the Whiskey Sour, and the Old Fashioned. So Whiskey Coke, very straightforward, 1 part whiskey, 2 parts Coke. So when I look online for a price of Coca-Cola, I find one under $4, 12 pack of 12 ounce cans. We're looking at price per ounce of 3 cents. That's almost as cheap as water. So a shot of whiskey, $1.91, 3 ounces of Coca-Cola, 9 cents. We're looking at the cost of a Whiskey Coke being exactly $2. If we go to a bar, after tax and tip, we're paying $7. That's a savings of $5 every time we have a whiskey Coke at home. Let's move on to the whiskey sour. The whiskey sour is a shot of whiskey, 1 ounce lemon juice, and half an ounce of simple syrup. So lemon juice, we're seeing 64 ounces for $10. That's a price of just about 17 cents an ounce. So simple syrup, we're seeing over $11 for 750 milliliters. That's a price per ounce of 48 cents. So adding it all up, shot of whiskey, $1.91, 1 ounce of lemon juice, 17 cents, half an ounce of simple syrup, 24 cents. That gives us $2.33 for a whiskey sour. We get that at the bar. After tax and tip, let's say it's $7. That's a savings at home of $4.67. And finally, let's look at the old-fashioned. This one is a bit more complicated. The standard recipe, basic recipe, 2 ounces of bourbon whiskey, 2 dashes of bitters, a sugar cube, and a twist of orange. So for bitters, I'm seeing one online, a 2 ounce bottle for $9.75 after tax. That gives us a price per ounce of $5.28. Sugar cubes, I'm seeing $6 for a 35 ounce bag. That gives us a price per ounce of 19 cents. And an orange peel, I'm going to say that we're using the entire orange for this. I guess otherwise, if we're making a lot, we could be splitting it up. But I'm going to say we're using an entire 57-cent orange in our old-fashioned. So add this all up, we're looking 2 ounces of bourbon whiskey, which is what our maker's mark is. That's $2.55. 2 dashes of bitters. We find that a dash is actually 0.021 of an ounce. That's good to know. Found that online. So we're 2 dashes of bitters is going to be 22 cents. We also see that 1 sugar cube is 0.1667 of an ounce. So that means that 1 sugar cube is going to be 3 cents. And our twist of orange and the orange peel in there, we're saying that we're using the whole orange. After tax, that was going to be 62 cents. So we add that all up, and the cost of making an old-fashioned at home is $3.42. This is a popular, pretty pricey cocktail. It's a $14 cocktail, let's say. That means savings at home is going to be over $10 on the old-fashioned. Okay, so that's pretty much whiskey. Feel free to jump to the outro now or stick around for gin. So gin is a liquor that was popular way back in the day, dipped down, but is now recently making a resurgence. One reason that gin is popular is because there's a lot of good cocktails that you can make from it. So today we're going to be looking at the gin and tonic, the Martini, the Gimlet, and the Negroni. So I find the price of a bottle of Tanqueray is $28.75. It is a fifth of a bottle, 750 milliliters. That means the price of a standard 1.5 ounce shot of this gin is $1.84. I don't know if people take shots of gin, but if they do, let's say it's $6 at a bar, so that's a savings of over $4 for every shot we take at home. So very standard drink, the gin and tonic, 1 part gin, 2 parts tonic. Well, I can find tonic water on Amazon for just under $12. This is 90 ounces of tonic water. After tax, that means 14 cents per ounce for tonic water. So making our gin and tonic, a shot of gin, $1.84. 3 ounces of tonic water is 43 cents. So that's a total cost of $2.27 for a gin and tonic. If we're saying that it's $7 at the bar after tax and tip, that means a savings at home of $4.73. Let's move on to Martini, one of the classier drinks. Basic standard Martini is going to be 3 ounces of gin, that's 2 shots, and then half an ounce of dry vermouth. So dry vermouth, I see we can buy a 700 milliliter bottle for $10.69 after tax. That is 46 cents per ounce. If we're drinking a Martini and we want to feel classy, we might as well buy Martini glasses. I'm seeing we can buy a set of 4 for just about $33 or $8.93 per glass. So to make our Martini, we take our 2 shots of gin, that's $3.68, add in half an ounce of dry vermouth, 23 cents, that totals $3.91. Now a Martini is this classy drink that will go for $14, $15, $16. So if it's $16 at the bar, that means at home we are saving over $12 by making this simple drink all by ourselves. That means that we can buy a Martini glass for every Martini we drink and still be better off than going to the bar and buying a Martini there. The Gimlet is one of my favorite gin cocktails. The Gimlet is 3 parts gin, 1 part lime juice. So when we look for lime juice, we see on Amazon for $10 we can get 64 ounces of lime juice. That is 17 cents per ounce. So now making our Gimlet, we have 3 ounces of gin, that's 2 shots, $3.68, and then 1 ounce of lime juice, 17 cents. So the cost of a Gimlet is $3.85. Gimlets maybe go for $12 at the bar after tax and tip, So a savings at home of $8.15. And then you also have the Negroni. It's one of the more complicated gin cocktails. The Negroni is 1 ounce of gin, 1 ounce Campari, 1 ounce sweet red vermouth, and 1 orange peel. So we see online we can find a bottle of Campari for $28. This means the price per ounce is $1.24. Sweet red vermouth we can get for $15.50, a price per ounce of 66 cents. And for an orange peel, we're going to say that we're using the entire orange because unless we're making many of these, we're not going to get too much discount that way. So to make our Negroni, it's 1 ounce of gin, that's $1.23, 1 ounce Campari, $1.24, 1 ounce sweet red vermouth, 66 cents, and then 1 orange peel at 62 cents. We're looking at the cost of Negroni after tax and tip being $3.74. At a bar, maybe this goes for $15, $16. We're looking at a savings at home of over $12. That's pretty much the gin section. Feel free to jump to the outro or stick around for rum. So let's do rum. Rum is the cheapest liquor we're covering today. It's not super popular at the bars, but basically every time you go on vacation to the beach, you're exclusively drinking rum drinks. So when I look online, I see the price of a bottle of Bacardi is $17.86. This means the price of a standard 1.5 ounce shot is going to be $1.14. I don't know if people do shots of rum, but let's say it's $6 after tax and tip. That means we're saving $4.86 if we take a shot at home. So for our first cocktail, we have the rum and Coke. It's very standard, 1 part rum, 2 parts Coke. When we look online for Coke, we see $3.78 for 12 packs. That gives us a price per ounce of 3 cents, which is just as cheap as water. I don't know how Coca-Cola does that. So putting it all together, $1.14, 3 ounces of Coca-Cola, 9 cents. We're looking at $1.23 for rum and Coke. At a bar, that goes for $7 after tax and tip. That's a savings of $5.77. Let's look at a Mojito. It's a complex drink that bartenders do not like to make. It's a shot of white rum, 1 ounce of lime juice, a 1/4 ounce of soda water, and a 1/3 ounce of sugar with a little bit of mint leaves on top. So for sparkling water, we see for about $18, we can buy massive amounts of sparkling water in bulk. That gives us 5 cents an ounce. For lime juice, we're looking at $10, 64 ounces. That's 17 cents an ounce. For sugar, just under $4 for 32 ounces. That's 13 cents an ounce. And for mint leaves, I couldn't find any on Amazon, but locally, I'm looking at $2.48 for about 2/3 of an ounce of mint leaves. And mojitos are usually drank in Collins glasses. I'm seeing a set of 6 for $20. We're not going to include the cost of the glass in the drink, but if you do want to buy it, it's there for you. Okay, so our mojito. We're looking at a shot of white rum, $1.14, an ounce of lime juice, 17 cents, 1/4 ounce of soda water, a penny, a 1/3 ounce of sugar, 4 cents, and mint leaves, 5 cents. That's a total cost for the mojito of $1.43. These are expensive drinks because you have to tip more on top of them because they're complex. We're looking at $14. So every time you make a mojito at home, you're saving over $12. So that's pretty much our rum section. Sit tight for the outro. So I think it's important to note that I'm not advocating that you're sitting alone at home drinking shots all night by yourself. But what I do think is important is that if you know that you're going to be going out drinking, the whole idea of pre-partying, having a few before you go out, is actually going to save you a ton of money. I should also say, please be responsible. Definitely take a ride share. Don't be drinking and driving. I think one bigger picture takeaway from this episode is that once you start seeing where your money is going and how much money you spend on what, once you realize that number, you can really start to scale it in and really start to reel that back and find savings that you wouldn't if you didn't know just how much you were spending. And keep in mind that this is only a few drinks a week. If you're a heavier drinker, this number is going to be much higher. So make sure you're plugging your own numbers in your spreadsheet to see just how much you're saving. So one thing that we're seeing throughout all these examples is just that these costs really add up. The idea that you're getting a cocktail a week, 2 cocktails a week, we're just throwing away $9, $10 every time we order a cocktail. And the funny thing about cocktails is that the price of the actual ingredients, you're basically just paying for the tip. A standard tip on a cocktail is about $1.50 or $2, maybe more depending on how involved it is. So when you see a cocktail priced at $16, you're going to have to pay tax and tip on that. Basically, all that $16 goes to overhead and profit for the company. So that was a lot to think about. Now, obviously, I'm not advocating that you stop going out altogether and that you exclusively drink at home. But looking at those numbers, we realize that having friends over instead of going out to the bar is going to save us so much money in the long run. On top of that, it's fun to host. People appreciate when you host. So you're not just saving money, but you're doing good for your friends as well. And one crazy thing about the savings is that the alcohol that we're choosing is not the low-end alcohol. These drinks are still being marked up $8, $9, $10 when we use the good alcohol compared to the bar's bad alcohol. If we're actually drinking some kind of top shelf drink at the bar, we're going to be adding another $2, $3, $4 on top of what we're paying. So even if you're not getting super excited about saving money in this episode, it's important to note that not only are we saving money, but we're actually drinking the good stuff versus when we go to the bar and we try to save money, we're drinking the cheapest alcohol and we're going to have terrible hangovers. I think the big takeaway from this is that the markup in alcohol in the bar industry is so much higher than we ever thought it was. That was this episode of Make Money Math Time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This channel is still very new, so make sure you comment below. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, and what you'd like to see in the future. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon, do all that good stuff, and tune in every Monday morning when we do math to make money.